Mondi.
Hello,
Mon-
hello. What's up?
Mondi. What's up, man? We news reviews, updates, tidbits, factoids, a whole bunch of things have been going on. The Oscars have just happened.
Yes,
It's time to get into it. We have a lot to discuss.
let's do it. Let's do it. First, let's talk some video games stuff. We got the trailer for Dune Awakening, which has been released. This is an open world survival MMO game coming soon to all platforms. Did you get a chance to watch the trailer to this?
Yeah. Watch the trailer. Interesting. It's weird how a game that looks this good is getting basically no hype or recognition. It makes me kind of wonder what's wrong. Maybe what I saw was just fluff. But I mean, from what I saw, it looked like the makings of like a really good and fun game. But I don't know. I'm probably missing the bigger picture because something that looks like this, that plays like I saw, would be getting like Power World attention. But the fact
Right.
that I've seen literally nobody, and I mean nobody, talking about this game is very weird. So it's probably me. I'm probably missing whatever everybody else is seeing. But based on this trailer, it looked really great, and I'm excited. But I'm wrong. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it looked really cool too. And like you, no one's talking about it. Um, what does MMO mean?
Major, fuck. It's it's like
Wh- What's
it's
what's
basically
the
like
style of
a
play?
yeah. It's like a style of open world type game, like
Like
Oblivion
that
or
or Destiny or something like that?
Destiny is more like PvP, player versus player.
Okay.
Um, MMO. Hold on, let me just Google it. It's like major motion. No, that's not it. Hold on.
And you mentioned that
MMO.
you were excited, like excited as in something that you would possibly play.
Massively multiplayer online. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know what MMO meant. Or I mean, I knew what it meant, but I couldn't give you the fucking thing for it. Yeah, I mean, these kind of games are fun to an extent, but these aren't really my style of games. These are like those like totally immersive, like you spend 3 hours creating your character, and then you have to like build their clan and like all that type of shit. Like I can't play those games because I'll do nothing but play those games. So
Hmm.
yeah, I just stay away from those kind of games. But like I said, it looked great, man. It looked really cool.
Warner Brothers Games plans to focus more on their core franchises. They even singled out their franchises that they plan to focus more on, which is Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, DC, of course, and then Mortal Kombat.
Hmm.
So, out of those four, can you just kind of rank your excitement? So, once again, of those video game properties, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, DC, and Mortal Kombat.
Well, unfortunately, Game of Thrones would be last just because I've seen nothing from them in terms of video games. Uh, and then obviously it would probably be wait. So it's Mortal Kombat, Harry Potter. What's the other one? DC.
DC, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it would be Mortal Kombat next, which is crazy because they have like the longest lifespan of games, but I pretty much know what I'm going to get with that, and that's okay. Like I'm totally fine and comfortable with getting Mortal Kombat 2 or whatever they do next with the Fire God Liu Kang story. Um, the DC Universe games, I don't know, man. They have not been too hot since they've tried to, get away from the Arkham series and what they did with Batman, honestly. So I guess it just depends on what they do. Um, but obviously, like my excitement level for that would be ridiculous. Like if they could do like a Justice League even if they just go back to doing Arkham, like I'd be totally on board with that. But there's nothing like playing fucking Harry Potter, whatever that shit was called, Hogwarts Legacy. There's nothing like playing Hogwarts Legacy, man. So they should be working on that now. God damn it! And I
Yeah.
expect it out next year, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Next year.
Yeah. Well, first, the idea of a Game of Thrones game is just so cool to me. Like you said, we've never seen it. So, what would that even look like? What era would they tackle? And in regards to DC, I know fans have been shitting on the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Have you been seeing the complaints? And do you? I know you haven't played the game, but do you see why fans are complaining?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do. I mean, but again, like I have not. held
It
the
seemed to
game
be like more
myself.
like lore stuff, like not even gameplay, just the lore they don't like that, like how Batman was killed so easily. It's the same Batman from the Arkham games. Like it's like
Hmm.
shit like that, which I've never seen that kind of response from a video game.
I mean, I've seen gameplay stuff too. I've seen that like the gameplay is boring and repetitive. Uh, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen the Batman. To me, the Batman thing is whatever. Like, there's all these like think pieces, like this is what Batman would have wanted, and he's in, like shut up, you fucking dorks. And of course, there's the whole that's not really Batman. That's just a clone of Batman that Brainiac made, and they're all really alive. And like, come on, bro, like, just let's just relax. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, either way it goes, I don't plan to play the game based on what I saw before the game even released. And yeah, I mean, everything that I've seen since it's incept or since it has been released has not made me want to go back and play it. So yeah.
I did see some gameplay of King Shark as a Green Lantern. I thought that looked really cool. That's just a little side note. Also, apparently in the latest Justice League, they're fighting Godzilla and King Kong in the comic run, and King Kong has a Green Lantern ring, so that's fucking cool. Anyway, but yeah.
What do you mean by that? King
What
Kong,
do you mean?
Green Lantern, Nigga
Shut the fuck
Lantern?
up!
Huh? Huh?
Shut up!
Okay.
You can't go a pod without that shit.
Yeah, that nigga needs it.
Anyway, wow.
Mm-mm-mm.
Anyway, let's talk stuff that's coming and stuff like that. The popular FX show Shogun passes The Bear. Why are you laughing?
Nothing. Go ahead.
It passes The Bear season 2 to become the FX's most viewed premiere ever show on Hulu with 9 million views. Have you been watching Shogun so far? It's only three episodes out. I think the fourth one comes out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your thoughts on that news? I guess.
Yeah. I have. I mean, I'm fully caught up on Shogun. There's going to be, I think, 10 total episodes. Like you said, the fourth episode does come out tonight. As far as the premiere breaking records, I think that's only a good thing. And, I'm proud of the show. I think a lot of times when we review trailers on the pod, 90% of them are just bullshit trailers that we've seen before, or stuff that just doesn't get you excited in the least. This falls into that category in terms of stuff that you've seen before, but at least it gets you excited. Like, you're just like, wow, like this world looks cool. Like, there's obvious world building here. It's got Hiroyuki Sanada in it, who's a fucking legend. Like, clearly this is going to be something. And it looks like a lot of people agreed because, over 9 million people watched it. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's great for the show.
Yeah, I remember when we first talked about this trailer on the pod. Oh, this is an amazing trailer. Look, I said, I literally said this looks like FX is our Hulu's response to Game of Thrones. And so I think that excitement for the trailer, this kind of speaks to the power of what you can do with a great trailer. Got people excited for the show. Speaking of Shogun as well, Shogun season 2 is unlikely. The quote is, "We loved how the book ends." I know this is based on the books. So that's news to me. They said it was one of the reasons why we both knew we wanted to do it, and we ended exactly in that place. So, no plans right now for season 2 because they're planning to wrap up. I guess whatever this was a story was adapted from a book in this one show or this one season. So, any thoughts on that?
Love it. It's got a beginning, middle, and an end. Doesn't need anything more than that. I'm cool with it.
Agreed. Let's talk about what's stuff that's now streaming for you guys who haven't seen it last year. Five Nights at Freddy's is now streaming on Prime Video. So if you guys didn't watch last year's biggest horror event of the year in terms of how much money it made, it's now streaming on Prime Video for all you guys to enjoy. Do you plan on watching this? I know you didn't see it.
No, don't care about this.
All right. Also, Wonka is starring Timothy Chalamet. Paul Atreides himself is now streaming on Max. So for all those who missed Wonka in theaters, you can check it out on Max.
Mm-hmm. It was a great movie. Monty didn't like it, but I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay. Netflix will host their first ever boxing event on July 20th. This will be the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me what are your thoughts on just that sentence as a whole?
I think it's a good thing, man. And I said when they did the Chris Rock special live that this would open the doors to doing more things live on Netflix. And
You did say that, yeah.
I'm happy that this is happening. Like I feel like nobody cares about like the future of what this means for Netflix as a platform. Like this is money. Like I don't get why they weren't doing this kind of stuff before. Maybe they just didn't have the technology, or maybe they didn't have the foresight. But Yeah, like live streaming a big event on Netflix, like this could be the way we view things very soon. So I love it. I mean, I'm planning to tune in for this ridiculous bullshit, just because it's going to be live streamed on Netflix, and I don't have to go through fucking HBO or whatever $50, $60 cable provider. I don't have to go through Peacock or any of these other bullshit streaming services. I go through Netflix, the OG, the one that I actually know my password for, that's logged in on every one of my streaming devices, and I can make sure that I tune into this. So, um, the people involved, like I don't care about either one of these guys. I'm so sorry. I don't care if Mike Tyson loses. I don't care if Mike Tyson wins. I know, the nigger contention online. Hold on, y'all niggas. You don't want to see Mike Tyson lose because he's black and he cannot lose to a white man. But he's what, 70? So who gives a fuck? This doesn't matter. This fight doesn't matter. This fight literally does not matter. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So I agree with you. I think it's good for the platform of Netflix. I don't think it's good for the sport of boxing, if that means anything.
It
Just
doesn't. It's an
because.
exhibition fight. This isn't a real fight. Mike Tyson's 70
Okay,
years old. This doesn't mean
it's still
anything.
okay, but it's still tied into the sport of boxing. Jake
Okay,
Paul
hold on, Money. Hold
wants
on.
to be considered.
If
Go ahead.
if 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 Michael Jordan played, let's say, a Keon Anthony, that nigga's Carmelo Anthony's son right now, and lost, is that something bad for the sport of basketball? Like, is the NBA going to be like, what are we doing? Like,
No, but the sport of basketball and NBA are two different things. But no, I don't think it'd be bad for.
the sport of basketball or the NBA? It wouldn't matter. Just like this
No, but
doesn't matter.
this is different because people can actually get hurt. And
What?
yeah, bro, like Mike Tyson, it's more than just a black and white thing. I don't want to see Mike Tyson. He's a legend. I don't want to see his old ass get knocked out by fucking Jake Paul. But it's clearly that Mike Tyson might need the money, because why would you even accept a fight like this? And I think, just as a boxing fan, to me will say that if the fight goes longer than 2 rounds, maybe 3 at the max, and Mike Tyson's in trouble, because that's a young man who's in the prime of his life. He's in shape. So I hope Mike Tyson gets him early. That's just my little thoughts on the fight itself. Anyway, moving on.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
the Rings of Power season 2 finally releases this year. I mean, I feel like I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, but this show, like, it just
Nobody
went
cares about this besides you.
it just went miss. It went missing for so long. I mean, do I care about this shit anymore? I don't even know. Like, it's sad because Lord of the Rings deserves so much better. But yeah, the season 2 is finally coming. I forgot literally everything that happened in season 1, so I'll have to do a recap on that, I guess. But Lord of the Rings fans, we're out here. We got to stand strong and support Rings of Power season 2. Um, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show on Netflix, has been renewed on Netflix for 2 more seasons on Netflix. There was a really cool video with Daniel Day Kim and the cast. So, what are your thoughts on that in the video when he announced it to the cast via Zoom?
Yeah, man, the video was a great idea. I think it's only going to bring them together and make them want to make seasons 2 and 3 great. I think it's awesome that they got both seasons right off the bat, so there's no wondering. And like they basically, I think they did it for 2 major reasons. One is so everybody's locked the fuck in. It's like, bitch, you're not doing nothing else. You're doing this Netflix show. And two, because obviously they're getting older. Like, Gordon and Kai Winto, whatever the fuck that bitch name is. They're all getting older, and eventually they're going to be too old to play the characters. So they want to do it and get it knocked out, which makes total sense. But yeah, the video for anybody that didn't see, it's just a video of basically Daniel Day Kim with the entire cast of the Avatar, basically pulling a trick and saying, "Hey guys, look, sorry, we worked hard, but we didn't get renewed for season 2." And then the reveal is we got renewed for season 2 and 3. He did it way better than I just did. But anyway, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of season 1, I think that this is a great thing. And ultimately, I'm hoping that seasons 2 and 3 will be better. The material is there for it to be better, but it's really going to depend on the acting chops of the actors involved, because there's a lot of powerful scenes coming up. There's a lot of great scenes coming up. I'll be interested to see what they keep and what they don't. So yeah, man. I mean, this is mostly a good thing for me. I'm very pleased with this. What do you think?
Yeah, as someone who thinks that the live action show is actually a stain on the franchise, this news actually.
Damn.
Well,
Okay.
that video actually did kind of it made me smile. I'm not gonna lie. It was a great video. It was a great video. I think it was handled pretty well. Gordon, who plays Aang, he's aging quick, man. Like,
Yeah.
I do like 18 in that video. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's just because he had hair. That's all.
No, he looks lanky and tall now. Like, what the fuck? Which I said during our Avatar Last Airbender review pod, I was like, let's just don't stick to the lore of having this in a year. It doesn't make sense. Kids just age so quickly. I think we should do it maybe 3 years out until Sozin's comment. But I know that I'd probably get so much flack from the fan base. But yeah, it was a cool little video. Did you notice as well, like when they have like the illustrations for book 1, 2, and 3, instead of book 1 having the water illustration as an air illustration, it's Aang's tattoo.
I didn't notice that.
So book 1 isn't water, like book 1 is air now in the live action, which is kind of interesting. So
I didn't
there's no water
that.
book. Okay, well, I noticed it. So, season 2 and 3, sure. Do you think that they'll? This is just a random question. Do you think that they'll tackle the scene of Zuko? I mean, they have to, right? Like looking up at the mountain and saying, "Strike me down with lightning."
I mean, that is so important to his character, so I hope so. Like, I feel like they have to. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to get like the Tales of Bossing say. I'm sorry, guys, I don't know if that's going to be in there. Like,
I don't think so.
As you know, as much as I love me, the Tales of Bossing say, I'm not sure that's going to be in there. I don't think Appa's Lost Days are going to be in there. Sorry, guys.
Hell no. Nigga, episode. Come on, we get a whole episode of Appa. Get the fuck out of here.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, you muzzled Appa, bitch. That's going to be in there.
That's got to be in there. That's gotta
be the entire library episode's got to be in there. I mean,
I don't know.
That's vitally important to this. Well, they can just do it in a different way, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, man. Look, hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm interested to see what they keep, what they don't, because there's a lot of good shit, especially in book 2 and 3. So we'll see.
Save us, Toph. We need you. Also, did you notice how sparingly Appa was used or shown in season 1? Just because I think it was probably so expensive.
Yeah, Momo too. Yeah. I mean, aside from when Momo almost fucking died, and you know what, Avatar, fuck you again, bitch, for trying that shit on me, bitch, knowing goddamn well that it was going to elicit some type of reaction. But yeah, I mean, both of them were barely in it. So, but look, I get it, man. It's that shit costs a lot of money, so I get it.
Less campaign for practical Appa in season 2. I'm kidding. That would look nuts. A nigga in a suit. It's like 10 niggas in a suit.
Do it, bitch. Do it. No,
this next news actually really breaks my heart, guys. It really does. Netflix has canceled Michelle Yeoh's action comedy, The Brother's Son, after just 1 season on Netflix. Literally the best show I've seen this year, which is not saying much, but such a great show, man. And everybody who's watched it loved it. Netflix makes not just Netflix. These streaming services make the weirdest decisions as to what they cut, what they keep. I get it. Money plays everything, but I still think you would love the show if you watched it. It ends in a place where you can honestly be like, okay, that's a story that wraps up, sure, but it also could tell another story as well. So, do you have any thoughts, if any? I know you didn't watch the show.
Yeah, man, I didn't watch it, but I do plan on watching this. Anybody that watches the pod knows that I'm a big fan of Michelle Yeoh and anything that she does, even though I don't expect that she'll be in this too much, because I know it's more so about the brothers.
No, she's in it.
Spoil it.
She's in it.
No, you didn't have to say anything about that. But anyway, look, yeah, man, I wish I knew like the metrics as to what Netflix deems worthy to be cut and what they don't. Because like you, I feel like a lot of people did watch this, but maybe not. Like maybe that was just on the timelines that we saw. And the reality is a lot of people didn't watch this show. And, that led to it being canceled, unfortunately. So, yeah, man, it sucks. Unfortunately, yeah, it sucks. I wish that the show was not canceled, but Netflix, saw to it that it shall be. So whatever.
And I'm calling it now, guys. Please remember I said this. The actor that plays the character Bruce on the show, I think his name is Justin Chin. He is a superstar. He is a superstar. He will be a superstar in the next 2 or 3 years. I promise you. The Twilight remake is confirmed that we talked about is now going to be. It's not a movie that we thought, or even a live action series. It's going to be an animated series. So Twilight will be remade in animated fashion. Julian doesn't like it. What are your thoughts?
Get this bullshit out of here. This shit can go straight to fucking hell. Like I said, get this shit out of here. I don't want no fucking animated fucking, hey Bella, what you doing, loca? I don't want that. Get it out of here. Get it out. I don't want it. If it can't be live action and it can't be just as ridiculous and fun as the original series, which was made 10 years ago, then yeah, I don't want this. I'm not watching this. They can put it on Netflix for all I care. I'm not watching it. This does not have my support anymore.
I kind of feel the opposite. I'm not saying it has my support, but I like the idea of it being animated because I don't want the live action to be remade. I think that's a special series. I really do. I know it's fun to make fun of it, but I find myself watching that like once every 2 years, like the whole thing all the way through. And I love the actors that were involved, and I don't want to see it remade live action, honestly. So if you're gonna do it, fuck it, let's do it this way. Um, Halloween, the franchise Halloween, Michael Myers, will have a TV series, and the quote is, the series will be a creative reset completely, and will be going back to the original film," which is a very interesting quote because we thought that Halloween 2015, 2016 was already kind of took away all the Halloween 2, Halloween H2, all that kind of stuff, and took the story on from there. But now they're kind of doing a reset again and saying, hey, only the OG movie counts again, and we're starting over. So Halloween lore is crazy. What are your thoughts on it as a big Halloween fan?
Didn't we talk about this last time? I'm
No, we
pretty sure
didn't.
we did.
No. That was a Friday the 13th series that A24 is doing.
Okay. Yeah, Halloween TV series, bring him back. I guess. I mean, I want more Michael Myers if it's done correctly. So, sure. I don't think that. Well, I should say I do think that erasing all those bullshit Halloween movies in between makes sense. Um, the first one's the best one, and then it's the remake that they did in whatever 2014 or whatever. So yeah, I'm cool with it. Let's do it. Hopefully, it's on a
Yeah,
decent streaming service.
but the way I interpreted that was even those three movies that we just got, the new trilogy, Halloween Kills, Ends, those don't even count either. Like it's just
Right. Yeah. Starting over
that could, yeah,
from Halloween
yeah,
1972. I'm completely fine with
just,
that.
just keep starting over.
Yep.
The sequel, to the Super Mario Brothers movie is now in the works. No surprise there, and will release April 23rd. Or I'm sorry, April 3rd, 2026. We knew this was coming. I'm so excited for it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, same. Yeah, I mean, don't really have much to add. I mean, we caught this is going to be a universe shocker. They made $1 billion, brother. They were going to make another one, and I can't wait for it. I'll be there opening fucking night.
Filming has begun on the Final Destination 6. This film will release next year with an IMAX theatrical release to celebrate the franchise's 25th anniversary.
Okay.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on these films as a pantheon and in this new film coming out?
I absolutely love these dumb. First of all, none of them are actually like any good, but they are all super interesting in the fact that because it's so ridiculous. Like, I don't know. First of all, you said this is 6?
Yeah, part 6.
Ooh, I haven't seen 5 then. I'm pretty sure I've only seen 4 of them. But anyway, yeah, I mean, look, they're so ridiculous in like, the way that they get to the kills. But in terms of like a concept in like the writer's room, I can totally see writers being like, what if we did it like this? And then what if this happened? And then what if the salt falls? And then the fish? And then here it comes. Like, like it's just some stupid, ridiculous shit like that. I'll be there opening night. I like, what do you want me to say? Like, I can't wait for this. It's going to be bad and ridiculous and just stupid. It's probably going to scar me for the rest of my life, just like the log scene in Final Destination 2.
2, yeah.
But I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, these movies always give me the most anxiety out of any movie I've ever seen in my life. Like as a kid, especially, I watch these movies and just walk around the house like on pins and nails. Like oh my god, why that chandelier shaking? So yeah, I'll be here.
What the fuck? Yeah,
I will be here for sure to kind of relive those days. I think this is like a millennials, like this is our franchise. Like
for sure.
We grew up on this shit, Quick question. Give me your 3 kills that come to mind of the whole series that just like besides of the log scene, which is the most iconic probably because every car rider is like fuck that.
Yeah.
3 kills that just kind of like stand out to you in this franchise the most.
Well, 3
or
I'll
2,
say
that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say the one aside from the log scene that sticks out the most was the fucking what's that, the sauna where she got burned alive in that sauna.
Yeah, the hot Yeah, no, that's not a sauna. That's a fucking
It's
tanning machine.
a tanning bed. Yeah.
Yeah, tanning bed.
Woo! That shit was
Yeah,
brutal, bro. Like,
it was. I felt that shit. Yeah, yeah, that
that
was
shit was
brutal.
brutal. That was,
Yeah.
I think that one, the log one, and probably like in the first movie where like it was like the original plane crash. Like that shit.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, that shit had
Yeah.
me scared to fly. Had me scared to drive behind the niggas with the log truck. That shit had me scared to go in a fucking tanning bed. I'm like, I'm not doing none of
Yeah.
this shit. But
These
yeah.
movies are impactful, man.
They are. No, for sure. They are. They're just not good. But like
Yeah.
they're so
They're impactful.
impactful. Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
impactful. Yeah. I
For
agree.
me, it was in number one. There's this like to this day, like I don't go near like railroad tracks that because like there was a scene where there was a quarter on like a railroad track,
Oh, yeah.
and it just like I was like, and
Yeah.
there's a roller coaster scene I believe in part three. That's like the opening sequence, like the roller coaster. Everybody dies in the roller coaster.
Oh,
That
yeah.
shit that shit fucks me up too. And for three, oh, there's one. I think this is like part four. There's like a ballerina or like a gymnast on like the balancing beam, and she does like a split or some shit.
Mm,
And that shit fucks me up. So yeah, it got some iconic moments here, man.
I agree.
Um, let's talk some details on the Michael Jackson biopic, which is coming out. Of now, this will star his nephew, his real life nephew.
Mhm.
Which I've seen some promo pictures. He looks just like the nigga. I'm not gonna lie. So props to that. Uh, the movie is aggressively painting him as innocent with the whole child abuse allegation, which is expected. His family's involved.
Mhm.
Um, and I honestly don't think he did it, but that's another conversation. The budget will be reportedly around $155 million, so pretty big for a biopic.
Yeah.
And the studio is banking on it making nearly $1 billion, which is that's quite the bank. I mean, it's Michael Jackson though, so
It is
if you're
Michael
gonna do a
Jackson.
biopic, and expect a return, this is the guy to do it with. Any thoughts on those bullet points?
Man, it's yeah, that $1 billion number. What are they putting in there that they think that niggas is just gonna flood to the theater to see this? I don't know. I
I mean,
mean,
it's Michael Jackson though. I mean, that might give you 200 million by itself, just the name.
yeah.
Now, if the movie's good, you're
Yeah,
gonna get more word of mouth.
I
Real life
guess.
nephew, all that kind of stuff might play in. I don't know.
I'll say this as somebody who typically does not tune into biopics, I am interested and excited for this one. I'd probably go to the theater to see this one, but I'm somebody who goes to the theater anyway. So like, I'm not sure my sway matters. Like, like will our moms go see this? People who like grew up with Michael Jackson, or
I'm sure yeah, I'm sure they
you
will.
know, I don't know, man. Maybe she will.
Bob Marley did.
That's my mom.
The Bob Marley movie did really good in terms of its return. So if the Bob
Oh,
Marley, which
good,
I know he's big as well, but I know Michael Jackson's gonna kill it.
cool.
Elvis did really good.
The $155 million budget, though, where is like what? How? Who? Because like this nigga's nephew's not getting, maybe $5 million for this. So where's the other $150 million going?
5 million is generous. 'Cause like all the Dune actors took like crazy pay cuts. Like
Mm-hmm.
Timothée Chalamet got paid 3 million, Zendaya 2 million, Josh Brolin like 500,000, like Florence Pugh like 300,000, like because they
I'm
just wanted to work with
sure.
Villeneuve so much.
I'm sure these niggas have back end and royalties, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
front end.
yeah,
I did see their salary for that. But I mean, they also got to work with fucking Christopher Walken, and people like that. So I'm sure that's why they were like, sure, whatever, I don't care. Yeah, sign, bitch.
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, yeah. I mean, I'm excited for this biopic. I hope this Michael Jackson biopic is a well made and crafted film. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I hope we don't get another Flex Washington Michael Jackson because that was nuts. Let's talk some show and movie reviews. I didn't finish any shows between last pod, and Julian didn't either, and I don't think he watched any movies either. But I
Nope.
watched four movies. I'll give you guys my review on. The first one I watched is Spaceman, which is the new movie on Netflix starring Adam Sandler. I was so happy to see Adam Sandler return to a dramatic format because he's been doing these little goofy comedies lately. And I think comedic actors get a bad rap when it comes to doing dramatic. Not a bad rap, but they're underrated severely. Like the Jim Carreys of the world, the Robin Williams, even Kevin Hart. Dare I say? Kevin Hart is great in movies where he has to pull back and show his acting talents, like the Upside with Bryan Cranston, or like the movie on Netflix Fatherhood. And so same thing here, Adam Sandler. However, well, I'll get to that point next. It stars Carey Mulligan and also Paul Dano plays this alien, this big spider, basically that Adam Sandler's in space as an astronaut, and he's encountered by this alien who wants to have basically this big therapy session with him, which I'm not gonna lie, on paper sounds amazing. And Paul Dano is great as the alien in terms of the voice acting. He always brings this level of like comfortability, but also like eeriness, which is kind of just his stick in general. All Paul Dano's roles are like that. However, to me, the movie kind of felt like it was trying to be deep, and that's never a formula for success for me when it comes to a movie. You can feel the movie trying to manipulate your heartstrings and pull at certain things, like just be organically deep, or just tell a story. Like don't try to be deep, and so that really lost me. It felt shallow. All the lessons that the alien was trying to give Adam Sandler were like lessons that you can find on Tumblr quotes and shit like that. Like, oh, it's not the journey, it's the destination, or it's not the destination, it's not the destination, it's the journey, shit like that. So I feel like by the end of the movie, my time was wasted, unfortunately. And so I gave Spaceman a C minus. So yeah, not a recommendation for me, unfortunately. Next review is for Imaginary, which is a new horror movie now playing in theaters. This is the first of two movies coming out this year that have to deal with imaginary friends. The first one is, or the next one is going to be John Krasinski's If, starring Ryan Reynolds. This movie is directed by Jeff Wadlow. For those guys who don't know who that is, Jeff Wadlow has made movies like that I enjoyed in the past, like Never Back Down with Jamon Hunsu and Amber Heard, or like Kick Ass 2. But when it comes to horror movies, this nigga's like might be the actual worst. He's made movies like seriously. He's made movies like Truth or Dare, Fantasy Island, and now this. Like he always chooses the most lowest hanging fruit ever from a conceptual standpoint, and just tries to execute it super lazily. But he isn't the only one to blame. I also blame Jason Blum as well and Blumhouse Productions. I remember when Blumhouse first hit the scenes. I believe you shared this sentiment with me as well. Like we were excited. Like Blumhouse brought some new energy to the horror genre. It was a different kind of feel, and now Blumhouse is just like quantity over quality. Like it's gotten to the point now. Like if I see a movie made by Blumhouse, I'm like rolling my eyes. Like okay, here we go, another Blumhouse movie, and it just feels like Blumhouse through and through. The luxury of being a mediocre white man in Hollywood is a luxury I pray for every single night because they just keep getting these chances. This movie stars DeWanda Wise, and yeah, like the plot is pretty straightforward. Child, imaginary friend, which is a demonic entity, and that's how it plays out. Um, I don't think I don't think modern mainstream horror's goal is to scare audiences anymore. I really don't. I think that takes too much work. That takes actual tension and great storytelling. I think after thinking about it, I think they're just cheap excuses now to make action movies with horror elements in it. That's what every third act is these days. It's a woman or a teenager fighting a demon and winning somehow. And that's what audiences, I guess, are paying to see. And I'm just tired of mainstream horror is in a really bad place right now. It's my least favorite genre by far. I gave it a C minus.
So just a quick question, Monty. Quick question.
Sure.
I don't understand. Well, what about the trailer or promo for this movie made you go see this movie?
Well,
Genuinely curious.
You keep asking me this. I love movies. I like being surprised.
But okay,
I like being surprised. I like going to the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I like the experience.
Yeah.
I wanted to support DeWanda Wise. Like that's why I know we're different in that. I mean, I'm not saying you don't love movies, but like I love going to the theater. Like that's my going to the club. Like that's what I like to do. And so yeah, I went to go check it out, and I was bitten in the ass by it, which I knew was a real possibility. So a risk I took. Anyway, C minus for Imaginary. Next review is for Damsel. This is the new movie starring Netflix's Golden Girl, Billy Bobby Brown, now streaming on Netflix. Somehow they got Angela Bassett tied in this shit as well. This is the movie. Yeah, you remember this trailer, right?
Mm-hmm. The trailer looked ass. Yeah.
It looked kind of interesting to me. So it's funny. The movie kind of starts off with a quote with like there's like a narration where it's like, you know, those stories where the knight saves the damsel in distress. Well, this isn't one of those movies. And I was like, oh god. Here we go. And so honestly though, it was cheesy, but in a good way, not in a bad way. It wasn't too cheesy. It felt like it was leading into that whole fairy taleism of the movie. And so it didn't feel like it was pandering like, oh, women are just so much better than men and they can do everything men can do. Everything felt pretty organic in that sense. So that I give the movie compliments for that. I didn't expect the movie to be a large portion of the movie to be like a survival movie, essentially, like how Prey was. Like a big bulk of the runtime is just essentially Millie Bobby Brown's character fighting this dragon in the dragon's lair, and her having to survive and find ways to survive after getting injured, stuff like that. So that was really cool, I guess, to see if you like survival films. This film has a talking dragon, which I always said this before. Like talking dragons make the best dragons because they're just they're just 3 times more scary than a regular dragon. Like dragons are already scary enough with the fire and the wings and all that kind of shit. But when you add the fact that this nigga can talk to you and tell you why he's about to kill you, I love that. What comes to mind, obviously, is Benedict Cumberbatch's Smaug in the Hobbit trilogy. But dragons that speak are just that much more menacing. This movie actually has some really good shots. which is really surprising because Netflix, if you know, when it comes to their original movies, they put zero effort in the whole cinematography department. So this movie has some really good shots. I was like, wow, like Netflix is trying to make cinematography. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so cool. Now, to me, what would have elevated this movie to good, dare I say, great, is if they spent more time on the character work. A lot of characters in this movie make some really immoral decisions and tough decisions that I think if you really spent some time and maybe sacrifice some action beat or two and spent more time on why they made that decision and their psyche, then that would have took the movie to a whole another level. I know you guys are probably throwing like tomatoes at me, like, "Oh my god, who wants a character study with a dragon movie?" Like, I know, but I'm just saying, like, these are the kind of things that elevate your movies and your films. Like, just giving that some more character work would have really been really cool. So, overall, I think this is you can have a good time with this, watching this with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your friends. But I gave it a C plus, but it's not a bad rating at all. This movie is kind of exactly what you would expect, and yes, it was a cool watch overall. Last review, guys, is for Ricky Stenicki, the new movie now playing on Prime Video, starring John Cena, Zac Efron, the comedy. This movie comes from director Rick Farrelly, whose filmography is all over the place. This nigga made Osmosis Jones, Dumb and Dumber, Green Book, and now he's making this. Um, John Cena is just playing a Peacemaker variant, and the character Ricky Stenicki, which all his roles are really just kind of Peacemaker variants. um, Zac Efron kind of hurt the most because I just saw him in Iron Claw. I thought he was like honestly like deserved an Oscar for that role. And so to see him kind of revert back to roles like this, it's nothing wrong with comedies, guys. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that his career should not be putting him in positions to make movies like this anymore. I feel like he's past that. We got Jermaine Fowler, who I thought was a standout in last year's The Blackening. He played the character Clifton or whatever.
Cliff.
Cliff, yeah, I thought he was amazing in that. And we have the character, the actor Andrew Santino, who's in Dave on FX. So all those actors I just named were in things that were just so much more elevated just last year. So to see him in this was kind of disheartening. You know, it takes the classic trope of three guys, three bros who, you know, we have all the diversity boxes checked in this movie. There's the one black friend. The black friend is also gay in this movie. So double check on that box. Zac Efron's in like an interracial relationship. It just takes that, you know, those formulas and just kind of, we've seen it before. It has the L formula to me. And what I mean by that is like, the movie where you take a bumbling idiot who's endearing like John Cena and kind of put him in the lives of these normal people, and they find out at first he's like a disdain for them, and after the runtime of the movie goes on, like, oh, okay, he adds value to our lives. I'll say this about the movie: if you are nostalgic for those early 2010s goofy comedies, then you'll probably have a positive experience. Like Yami, fuck you, first of all. Yami's the one that told me to watch this movie. I had no plan on watching this shit at all. I just saw Yami. I saw Yami at a bar 2 nights ago. He said, "Bro, watch Ricky Stenicki, bro. I want your rating. It's gonna be good." It's why I don't take ratings from random niggas. Yami's not random, but still, fuck you.
I was about to say, damn.
I gave it a C. It's fine. It's fine, guys. Comedy subjective, I know, but you've seen this movie before. I promise you. Now, let's talk about some trailers, guys. So I gave you guys 4 C's in a row, so not a good slew of movies from me recently. We have the trailer for The Wild Robot. This is an animated film starring Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Kit Connor, Stephanie Sue, and many more. In theaters September 20th. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
I have a problem with these type of films releasing promo for this, releasing all these actors for this, and not using a single one of them in the promo for the movie. I just don't get the decision.
What do you mean by that?
Lupita Nyong'o was the only character who actually talked in the movie, and it looked like it was just a voiceover for maybe the robot. So I don't know what character she's playing.
In the trailer?
Yes, in the trailer. So
what?
You just went down a list. You named Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Kit Connor, Stephanie Sue. I didn't hear a single one of them in this trailer aside from Lupita. And I'm saying that bothers me. I want to hear who these characters are playing. I want to hear what kind of character they're going to play. Ultimately, you know, I'm gonna have to see like a second trailer for this because this first one just didn't do anything for me. This looks like WALL-E in 2024. Didn't care about WALL-E then. Don't care about it now. So yeah, I mean, I have to see another trailer for this, or I'm just not going to watch this. This didn't look interesting at all.
All right. Well, complete disagreement over here in this corner, as we typically do. This trailer, first of all, to address your thing about the whole actors not having voice roles in the trailer. Like, I don't understand how that could possibly matter. Now, if you watch the actual movie and there's no and the actors have limited roles, and that would be different. But it's just the first trailer, I'm sure, of many, like you said, and it's just to kind of give you an idea of the plot of the story. We don't need everybody to have an acting input, or that's just my opinion. But in regards to the trailer itself, it honestly kind of blew me away. Honestly, from a conceptual standpoint and visually, I think the animation. Don't fucking laugh at me, nigga. The animation looks beautiful, and conceptually, just the idea of, like, instead of like this is like a Tarzan story, it's like a somebody gets dropped in the wild and has to adapt to the ways of the wild. But instead of it being a human being, it's a robot. And I just never thought about that. And it's really cool. It looked beautiful. I got the feels in the trailer, honestly, like seeing this robot adapt and find friends amongst the animals in the wild. Like, I think this movie is gonna be really special. I think DreamWorks is on to something, and I think, yeah, this is gonna be a very, very special. I cannot wait for this movie. It's become easily now one of my most anticipated movies of the year going forward. So, The Wild Robot, guys, check it out. Um, we have the trailer for Sing Sing. This is the movie starring Coleman Domingo in theaters July. I want to say it's A24.
It
I could be
is.
wrong on that. Okay, it
No, you're
is.
not. It's A24.
Okay. He plays a prison inmate who basically tries to change the lives of his fellow inmates by introducing the arts and playwright and stuff like that, and plays to him. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
Based on a true story. Coleman Domingo is so
Oh,
talented, man. I think really highly of him. I tend to agree that I'm not sure he can play Kang just because he may be a bit too old. But
and 2K. That was a joke.
Jesus Christ.
Joke, guys. Don't cancel me.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, like he's very talented, man. And this
Hey,
trailer.
Avengers. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, this trailer. This nigga's insane. Yeah, it was a good trailer. I think that this was one of the more interesting trailers that I got tagged in for this week. I'm pretty sure this is like the only one that I had like a positive reaction to. I mean, how can you not root for people trying to change and uplift their lives through theater? So cool.
If they're murderers, whatever.
Well, I don't know if murderers get a chance to go play theater.
It was a joke.
Okay, I'm responding to your joke. Oh. I don't think that those guys are gonna get a chance, but maybe the guys that were just in there for selling a little weed or whatever, maybe they're trying to find a different way. So yeah, the trailer looked interesting. I can't say that I'm gonna be there opening night for this, but I'll watch it and I'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, all jokes aside, I think Coleman Domingo is literally one of the most talented actors that we have today. If you hear his story, it's super compelling too. Like, this guy worked theater for years and just behind the scenes and doing background work. And it's so, I love when actors' careers pop off like so late in their lives. No, I don't love it, but I love it for them. Like, their perseverance basically is showing through. But yeah, he's a great actor. He looks really good in this.
Shout out to Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see this. Actually, this looks like a good character study. And yeah, I think Coleman Domingo, this might be an Oscar role for him, just based on the trailer alone. We have the trailer for The Idea of You, starring Anne Hathaway, releasing May 2nd on Prime Video. This has been getting a lot of negative feedback from people online.
Really?
Only because of the age gap. People are too woke these days. Like, these are too
really
like the whole thing with Dre and Jayla Green. Like, I might get canceled for this as well. I don't see a problem with it. I mean, they're two consenting adults. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on the trailer? Sorry.
Okay. I mean, look, this is white people's chance to have how Stella got her groove back, and I thought that they would be happy. No, seriously, like I thought that they'd be happy.
You're right. It's just
but apparently they're not. These niggas is like, he's 21, she's fucking 50. Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's like you said, man. They're both adults. It's a fucking movie, so let's not forget that it's a movie. It's fiction, and yeah, I mean, I have no interest in this at all. Like, literally zero. But yeah, I mean, I don't get what the big deal is in terms of the outrage. Anne Hathaway, she just doesn't do it for me. I don't care about any romance that she's in, and yeah, this looks like a typical ABC romance rom-com, which I could be totally wrong about, but based on the trailer I saw, that's what it looks like to me. I'm not going to watch this.
Yeah, it does look a little ABC. Apparently, the actor, this whole story, not the story, but the actor that the book was based on was based off of Harry Styles. Like, what if a older woman in her 40s met Harry Styles at Coachella and they had a romance? Yeah, this
Hmm.
movie, I probably will check it out. I do like Anne Hathaway a lot. I think if you really wanted to nail the point home that this is an older lady, you would cast somebody else because she looks, I mean, she's in her 40s, but she don't look older than 35 to me. I mean, but sure, yeah, I will check this out actually. Not opening day probably, but maybe the next day. We have the trailer for the Strangers Chapter 1 has been released. Comes to theaters May 17th. This is a prequel to the other Strangers films. I've never watched the Strangers movies. I know
Me either.
people like them. People like them a lot. So without any context, me and you, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
Okay, yeah. So I didn't know that this was part of like a larger universe, but if you've ever seen Knock at the Cabin, Cabin in the Woods, The Girl in the Cabin Fever, it looks just like any of these any of these random horror movies that you would see. Couple goes on a trip, couple goes to cabin, cabin is invaded. There are killers on the loose. I don't give a fuck about this either. I'm sorry. If we're talking about ABC, holy shit. Again, I could be totally wrong, and if I'm wrong, yay. But based on the trailer I saw, I don't care about this. I'm not gonna watch this.
Same here. I just mentioned that horror is in a bad place. Mainstream horror. I keep wanting to emphasize that. And as somebody that A has never watched any of the Strangers films, and B looks fed up with it, that it's going to be like you said, an ABC ass plot. Count me out. And so, um, guys, let me know how it is.
That's hilarious.
Let's
You
talk
know
some
it's bad if
DC.
Monty say he ain't gonna see that shit.
You know it for sure. For
Okay.
sure. Let's talk some DC and Marvel news. Nicholas Holt says that Smallville was his first time seeing iterations of Superman and Lex Luthor as a kid, because he did a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He adds that Michael Rosenbaum is his favorite version of Lex Luthor. As somebody that's a big Smallville fan, does it give you hope, or do you want him to just kind of do more his own thing than kind of do some iteration of that?
Yeah, man, it's interesting because obviously, yeah, like you said, like I too grew up on Smallville. Smallville was every Thursday, 8 o'clock, UPN, bitch, before the
I remember
CW.
UPN. I remember UPN.
Used to be on the UPN, man. We used to, me, my mom, Javar, and Courtney, man, it used to be a family event. Like, we watched Smallville every fucking week, and I love that show with all my heart. It means so much to me. Michael Rosenbaum's performance as Lex Luthor is iconic to me, but I don't love that he. Well, I I want him to bring Nicholas Holt to Lex Luthor. I don't want him to bring Michael Rosenbaum to Lex Luthor. They could have just cast Michael Rosenbaum. I want Nicholas Holt to do his own thing. Now, if he's inspired by Michael Rosenbaum, I get it. Like it. I mean, look, he played Lex Luthor on TV, mainstream TV, for 10 years. It's impossible, especially for somebody in Nicholas Holt's age range. I don't think he's that much older than us, to not be inspired by Michael Rosenbaum. But um, I 100% want Nicholas Holt to be Nicholas Holt's version of Lex Luthor, and I don't want any blending. Um, that's just my preference. But look, I mean, take take a cadence or take something here or there. Like I get it, but you have to own this role, bro. Like he can't help you. Like you're gonna be Lex Luthor, one of the most iconic supervillains of all time, on the big screen in a major motion picture on a major studio. Like you've got to do this shit. So yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that.
And to be fair, he didn't ever say he was influenced, or he just said that that was his favorite version of Lex growing up. So I took that to imply that maybe he'll use some of that as an influence, but I could be totally wrong on that. But yeah, um, this next news is pretty wild. Well, not really. James Gunn says that Peacemaker season 1 is not canon to the DCU. He says season two will take place after the events of Superman, his new movie coming out with David Corenswet. So,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts on this?
This is kind of crazy to me. Like, this kind of just confirms that I wasted my fucking time watching Peacemaker. But I guess I should have known that since the DCU was ending, DCEU was ending. Uh, but now season 2, which isn't canon to season 1, is going to be canon in the DCU. So I wonder how they're going to tie in season 2 to season 1 at all. Or you know what? maybe James Gunn just doesn't give a fuck, and like it's just going to be season 2. Like they're not going to explain anything, which I think I would kind of be okay with. But whatever. I'm probably just thinking about it too deep. Like it's probably not that deep. So yeah, I mean, bring on season 2 of Peacemaker. Let's do it. Canon.
I noticed like you always say things like, "Oh, it's a waste of time." Like, I mean, it's okay to just watch things for enjoyment, even if it's not tied to the bigger universe. You know that, right?
No,
No.
no,
So
not for me.
if a Green Lantern movie came out that was right now, that was in the DCU, not the DC or the DCEU, but not in the DCU, you wouldn't watch it just for the enjoyment because it's not tied to any universe that's going forward. You just wouldn't
Well,
watch it.
you're comparing Green Lantern and Peacemaker. Those are two different properties.
Also, it's the iconography to you.
No, it's just the character.
Yeah, which is the
Green
iconography
Lantern. Yeah, Green Lantern is more important than Peacemaker. Yeah. So
to
yeah,
you.
I'd be to me, sure, to me. Sorry, Monday. I know you love Peacemaker. Oh, my bad.
No, no,
That's
no,
your boy.
no.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would much rather go see a Green Lantern film that doesn't matter than watch Peacemaker that doesn't matter. Yes.
but what if you enjoyed Peacemaker? You wouldn't like just how you would enjoy any other show in a vacuum. You just can't watch it because it doesn't add on to the bigger universe.
I'm just saying it wouldn't matter.
But it would matter because you enjoyed it. Anything that you watch that you enjoyed matters to an extent.
Okay, you're right, but I didn't enjoy Peacemaker, so like it
Okay.
doesn't matter to me. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay. I remember you saying like I liked it, but I didn't love it or something like that. You didn't like it at all.
no, it's not a bad show, but like
Yeah.
I don't think about it. I don't go back and watch it. Like I don't
Okay.
care about it.
Okay. Yeah. So back in regards to this news, I do think it's not weird actually because if you think about it, in Peacemaker season 1, they reference a lot of things from the DCEU. Like the
Hmm.
literal finale had Jason Momoa's Aquaman. I mean, it was their silhouette. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. So you could really that wouldn't make sense to have it be canon in the new DCU. Um, but I think you should just call it Peacemaker something else. Like it shouldn't be called Peacemaker season 2. Like call it Peacemaker Legacy or something like that. Like give it a whole new title so that way there's no confusion because like the average audience member is not like us and has this insight on what's going on. So that could be very confusing. So, but yeah, I think it makes sense to not have a canon now that I think about it. Moving on to Marvel. This is just a little tidbit. In a draft for Avengers Endgame, after Thanos opens up a portal during the final battle, he throws 2012 Captain America's head onto the battlefield in front of 2023 Captain America. Well, would you have liked this idea or this choice?
This is interesting because this is Disney, um, and obviously they didn't do it because it's Disney, and they want every man, woman, and child possible to go see these movies. That would have made the movie go up a letter grade or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
okay, okay. Well,
personally,
let's assume that there's a way to do it where you can still kind of film that, but like not have the head maybe explicitly. You can just kind of show it, show him holding a head maybe from behind, something like that, and just kind of throw it. And we hear the sound, but like that can be pulled off in PG-13 if you do it right. I've seen it before, a beheading of some sort.
okay. Okay, yeah, so sure, let's say that happens. I mean, the original question is like, do I care, or
Right,
would
right, yeah.
that have made the movie experience better for me? I don't know. I don't think so. Like I don't think I would have been like, oh my god, he kills Captain America in 2012. Like but maybe I would have been. I don't know. I don't know. I I'm not sure like what kind of reaction that they wanted, because if he killed, first of all, we've seen even up to that point, we know that like other Avengers have died. So like,
Right.
why would it matter if he threw Cap's head? Especially if like that's not my Cap. Like my Cap is the nigga that you're about to get your ass beat by. So do I really care? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I love the idea. I think that you can do it tastefully, as tastefully as you can. I mean, if Captain America or whatever can chop off somebody's head and Falcon and Winter Soldier, you can do this too. And I think it just would have added to the ruthlessness of Thanos that we all know that he has anyway. And I just really would have kind of pushed the stakes up even a little bit more. So yeah, I would have loved this moment for sure. But that's
So
just me. I
wiping
don't.
out half the population of the entire universe, it wasn't enough.
Of course, but of course it is. But sometimes the visual can even add it, kind of put that nail in the coffin a little bit more. So yeah, it's just his brutality and stuff like that. So yeah, I would have liked it.
Okay.
Sony is rumored to be very unhappy with Dakota Johnson right now about her constantly dragging Madam Web.
Oh, this is hilarious.
The quote is: "Lots of people at Sony are questioning her star power, and how she reacted to this failure will likely come back to haunt her," says one insider. What are your thoughts on this?
Sony's fucking hilarious. First of all, they have every right to be angry because Dakota Johnson was emptying the clip on this press tour. She gave no fucks. So like, I totally get Sony's perspective on this, but they're just out of line. Like, like, bro, like, you made a shit movie, it got a shit response, and it didn't make shit. What the fuck did you expect? All y'all niggas who made this movie, and I'm talking from senior director, VP, CEO, like, y'all need to go. Like, whoever said that this was going to be a good idea needs to go because you're out of touch. You don't know what you're doing. Dakota Johnson, you were wilding, okay? You were wilding, okay? But like, yeah, I mean, I don't even remember where I was going. But anyway, yeah, fuck Sony. Dakota Johnson, if you're never in anything again, I promise that nobody's going to remember that you were in Madam Web.
I disagree. I think that people are going to remember her for the rest of her fucking life, like in a good way, maybe.
Maybe. You know, it'd be crazy if in like 20 years, Madam Web had like a cult following. It could happen. Right. It could happen.
It could happen.
It's one of those things that like so bad that like the next generation might just be like, man, I love this shit, man. This is my Madam Web shit.
Like Catwoman. Like Catwoman
Niggas
has a cult following now.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I personally love Catwoman. Like, I can't look at it like
we're talking about Halle Berry's Catwoman, right?
Correct. I love that movie.
No, you don't.
Listen, I know it's bad. I know it's bad.
Horrible.
But I love it because of the fact that I don't look at it as like DC. Okay, this is just another iteration. Like, this is the Elseworlds Catwoman. It's not Selena, Selena Kyle or whatever, but it's Patience. And so yeah.
That was her name. Holy shit.
I had fun with it.
Okay. You're absolutely insane. But yeah, fuck Sony and shout out to Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, fuck Sony. Like you said, nigga, like stop worrying about your fucking brand or your brand and focus more on your fucking art in your movie. That's why you guys are about to fucking re-release every single Spider-Man movie that was ever made to try to make your fucking money back on this shit. So, which you guys will do. So fuck y'all.
They will. I'll be there.
Me too. Me too. So if you guys remember, we talked about that new documentary about Nickelodeon and the Dan Schneider and all the things that were happening to children, behind the set. It was called Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV. It's been revealed who that big actor was that we were talking about. Who was it going to be? It's been Drake. It was Drake Bell from Drake and Josh, actually. So pretty big actor. He disclosed that he was molested by his dialogue coach on the Amanda Show and all that. So this is when he was really young. Which really just sucks. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. It sucks. It's very unfortunate. I still think it's really weird how they tried to have a lead in to who this big actor would be. And it's like you said, like Drake he's one of the, I don't want to say a pillar of the Nickelodeon kids community, but maybe he is. I mean, Amanda, Drake, Josh.
Drake and Josh,
yeah, okay, yeah, kind of is. So yeah, so. Yeah, shit. I mean, it sucks, man. It sucks for him. Hopefully he's gotten the help that he needs to get through this and all that stuff.
You always give the same spiel about niggas.
What?
Fucking raped her. Go ahead.
Am I not supposed to feel sorry for that person and hope that they get help?
No, you do. It's just you always say the same thing. I hope he gets the help he needs.
Okay. All right. Bitch, I hope you don't get no fucking help and hope you go out there and molest somebody else. Oh, sorry. Oh. Exactly. So yeah, hope you get the help you need, man. And because I know you're watching. It's gonna take some time to realize
he was bending you over the sofa, I'm sorry. But yeah. I'm sorry. It was too good. All right, so moving on.
Yo, what is wrong with you, bro? How are we ever gonna make it when you saying shit like this? How?
You're right. I'm sorry.
This nigga said he was bending you over. Like, yo, Oh, that was off the top, nigga. What the
Off the
fuck,
top,
nigga?
off the tizzy,
Off the dome, nigga. What
off the dome, nigga, off the dome.
Damn.
No, but for
Okay.
that sucks for him. No pun intended. So, moving on. Now, let's talk about the Oscars 2024, which happened last night. Let's talk about some of the categories and the nominees, the people that won. Okay, I just want some of your thoughts on some of these. All right, you ready? So, for Best Picture,
Yeah.
was first Oppenheimer had a fucking almost a clean sweep here. Best Picture was Oppenheimer. Any thoughts on this?
Well deserved. Well deserved. Oppenheimer was a good movie. It kind of leans itself into that snobbiness that goes into being a best picture. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I didn't overly love this movie, but then again, I think the only movie that I've overly loved that actually won an award was Everything Everywhere All at Once. So whatever. So yeah, cool. Shout out to him.
This is also the third highest grossing movie ever to win Best Picture of the Year, because typically it's like those lower budget movies, like those pretentious artsy movies. But the first one, I believe, was Titanic, and then Return of the King, Lord of the Rings was the second one. So yeah. Best Director, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer, which is actually his first Best Director, which is I was surprised. I thought he had won before, but it's his first one. For Best Actor was Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer. Any thoughts on the Best Director or Best Actor?
No, sorry, I'm just playing. Look, happy for both of those guys, man. Christopher Nolan made a great film. Like you, surprised he didn't get it before, but are we saying that because we're Dark Knight fans, or I don't know, whatever? Wait, Dark Knight didn't win in 2008?
Not Best Picture, but it won some awards. Like Gary Oldman won Best Supporting. I think
Heath Ledger won
for Dark Knight. Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Okay, whatever. But yeah. Christopher Nolan, Cillian Murphy. Shout out to you guys.
Best Actress was Emma Stone in the movie Poor Things. But I keep hearing nothing but amazing things about this movie, so I will be watching Poor Things soon.
Poor Things.
Yeah, she won Best Actress, which is her second time winning Best Actress. I think she won as well as in La La Land. Best Supporting Actor was Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. His first Oscar, support to him. I mean, obviously, congrats to him. What a story. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. Rags to riches. Shout out to Robert Downey Jr., man. Love it for him. Well deserved.
Best Supporting Actress was Divine Joy Randolph in the movie The Holdovers, which I also will be watching soon. I heard that movie's amazing as well, starring Paul Giamatti. She was in The Idol. She played the black assistant. Best Score was Oppenheimer again. The composer Ludwig Göransson, who I've been thinking, bro, by the time it's all said and done, bro, he's gonna be like on that John Williams, like fucking Hans Zimmer level. Like he did Black Panther, he did The Mandalorian. He does a lot of just amazing scores. So yeah. Yeah, I love Ludwig Göransson. Best cinematography, Oppenheimer again. Best song, What Was I Made For? Billie Eilish from the Barbie movie. I think that's an amazing song. I think so glad it won.
I don't even remember that song from the movie. Interesting.
It's the song at the end. But yeah. Best visual effects, Godzilla -1. I was so happy to see them that team come to the Oscars and win, and they all had on their Godzilla boots and their Godzilla toys. It was kind of cute. Like I was so happy that they won. It's the first time the Godzilla franchise has ever won an Academy Award. Any
That's
thoughts
awesome.
on this?
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't know how it won Best Visual Effects because the visual effects were the worst part about the film. But I will say,
I think maybe all things considered, maybe.
Okay. But look, I'm glad that it's being recognized and that it won something because, like you, I absolutely love that movie, man. And I think that it is well deserved. And I love that the team is so excited in person and on social media. Like if you follow the social media, like the Godzilla account, like they're always tweeting about Godzilla shit. They're always like together wearing Godzilla shit. It's just so funny, man. It's so cute. And I'm happy for those guys for sure.
Yeah. Best animated. This is the one that kind of pissed me off. Not gonna lie. The Boy and the Heron. The Boy and the Heron won over Across the Spider-Verse.
Your favorite movie, Monty?
Chris Miller, which is one of the directors of Spider-Verse, said he reacts saying that The Boy and the Heron. Well, he said, well, if you're gonna lose, you might as well lose to the GOAT, referring to Miyazaki. Fucking racist ass. And this is Miyamoto. He said it confidently too.
Really?
This is his second film to win at the Oscars after Spirited Away. And then Shamik Moore caught some flack because he said he tweeted robbed, which although I agree, Shamik, somebody in your stance, like let me do the robbing tweets. You don't do that as the star of the movie. You don't do
Mhm.
that, okay? And as a black man too, just think it in your head, but don't tweet it, okay? But any thought? Because you saw both of these movies. What are your thoughts on Boy in the Heron winning?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, it's funny because I liked The Boy and the Heron more, but that doesn't mean that, like, again, like the movies that I overly love never win. So, like, I didn't overly love The Boy and the Heron, and I don't think it deserved an award over Across the Spider Verse.
Oh, you
Uh,
don't? Oh, wow.
no. I mean, Across the Spider Verse is the second installment of this massive trilogy that we have ongoing. And whether I'm the biggest fan of the movies or not, I acknowledge that these movies are really well made. They have beautiful animation, great voice acting, decent story beats, and I think that work does deserve to be praised. This nigga might just pop the pill. All right. We can see you, nigga. Like we literally can see you doing these hard drugs. Oh my god.
It's an allergy pill, bitch. Relax.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyway, guys, back to my motherfucking The Boy and the Heron spiel.
Oh man, allergy
I
pill,
mean,
guys.
look, I think maybe it won because of the voice cast involved, because like it was such like these powerhouse actors, Robert Pattinson, Dave Bautista, Mark Hamill, guys like that involved. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. The truth is, it doesn't bother me that it won. I do think Across Spider-Verse should have won, but it doesn't bother me.
And guys, I'm shitting on Boy in the Heron, but even though I did walk out of it, but look, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful film. I know the story is very close to
Nigga said he had to
Miyamoto.
nigga, no, the thing about
Oh,
it is
for
he walked out and Wikipedia that bitch to make sure he ain't missed nothing. He was like, hell no, I ain't missed nothing, nigga. That shit
But
is
listen,
ass.
I've seen nothing but critics rave about this movie, so I get it. But I
Oh
just think
man,
that from just what Across Spider Verse achieved is just monumental,
I
in
agree.
animated or live action. Yeah, guys, that kind of wraps it up. Did you watch the Michael Keaton moment when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito were kind of on stage and he was like bringing it at me as Batman? I thought that was just really cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, other than
yeah.
that, most of that.
A lot of the Oscar stuff, I just had to catch clips on. But yeah, that was one of the things that was pretty cool, pretty funny.
Or the I'm Just
It,
Ken performance.
yeah, I actually saw Ryan Gosling, Sidney Lou. I think Kingsley was up there too, I believe, doing a
Was? Oh,
performance.
okay.
I think so. But yeah, man, it's cool, man. Look, I'm happy for everybody that got their awards and that got recognized. Um, and yeah, I guess we'll leave with the passing of Akira Toriyama.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Um,
Sorry.
we do plan to do a Dragon Ball inspired pod later for him, but man, just a monumental figure, man. I can't believe that he's gone. Honestly, like, but yeah, I mean, I'll try to save all that for the Dragon Ball pod. But RP to Akira Toriyama, man, just a legend, a massive influence on pop culture, not just anime. So yeah, shout out to Akira Toriyama, man.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I totally skipped that. Yeah, rest in peace to a living legend. I feel like this Dragon Ball just means so much like to black kids, especially for some reason. It just really like resonated with us in our household.
Yeah,
But really all across the world, the creators of One Piece, Naruto have all spoken out. The voice actor for Goku, it's just it is a tragic passing, and he is and will forever be a legend. Like Julian said, Dragon Ball Pod coming soon, so you guys tune in for that for all fans of Dragon Ball Z and everything Dragon Ball Z related. But yeah, other than that, that's it. Anything for you?
no sir. Thank you, Monty. You're the best.
Thank you, man.